Yeah. Y'all good?
Changed it or something?
No, we didn't. I just couldn't remember. I slept since then. So, flag
Yo, I'm very honored to stand here in front of you today. Very honored to take part in this annual walk. I was here at the very first one. Walked that stretch of road, sang these songs in memory. Never gets any easier to walk that road. The drum gets awful heavy coming up that road, but it's nothing compared to the weight and the trials and tribulations carried by all those who walked this way almost 175 years ago. So, if you would please pray with me in your own way. We'll go into prayer at this time, and then I will turn it back over to our hostess, Miss Vicki.
Yes, but she's always supported us in our Trail of Tears, and this is Joey Hensley, Dr. Joey Hensley, and he's the state representative right now running for Senate.
Thank you, Vicki, and it's always a privilege and an honor to be here, and I've been here every year for several years. I don't know how many, but always try to be here to help to remember what happened. It's the beautiful prayer that Pat just had, and I don't think I could say it any better than him, but that was certainly a dark day in the history of our country when a people was forced to leave their homelands and go to a strange place, and so many died and suffered in that terrible time. And we look back and we don't understand how that could happen in a country like America. And certainly today we would never allow something like that to happen. But so many years ago, and times were different, but still we need to remember what happened and to remember all of those that suffered and the we have. But it's just a privilege for me and over the years to be a part of this, and I'd like to thank Vicki for her tireless work in helping us to remember what happened and the ancestors we had, and to be a part and to be able to play a little part in the legislature and to help pass legislation in the past to help to remember, and certainly do all I can in the future. But I'm just happy to be here to help to honor those that suffered and died on this path so many years ago. And we just need to never forget and keep it on people's memories, and not just the ones here, but everybody. And it seems like so many people forget. We forget the past, and if we don't remember what happened in the past, then we're prone to repeat it in the future. So we need to make sure that nothing like this ever happens again, and that we honor the memory of the ones who suffered, and that we help the ones that are still here, all of the Native Americans that are living in this country. And just as Pat had mentioned, some of them are still suffering. So we need to do all we can to help. But I'm just honored to be here, to play a small part in this ceremony today, and we just need to never forget. And thank all of you for your interest and for coming today. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
My name is Pat Cummins. I'm president of the Native History Association. We're a Tennessee organization that's taken it upon itself to try to raise awareness and to raise the educational awareness of places such as the Trail of Tears. That's exactly where I'm standing today here in Lawrence County, Tennessee. This is the Bell Route, the Trail of Tears behind me. Thousands of Cherokee people passed this way in the last weeks of October and first weeks of November of 1838 through 1839 on their way to Oklahoma during the forced immigration of the Cherokee Nation. People had come roughly 200 miles at this point from their starting point in southeast Tennessee, northern Georgia, northern Alabama, and North Carolina. There's an untold number of men, women, and children, most of them on foot, making their way up the old roadbed that you see behind me. Just imagine to yourself thousands of Cherokee people, many of them very, very ill, very malnourished and sick, very weak from all of the miles that they've put behind them so far. Coming up this road, completely leaving behind everything that they ever knew in their lives. This will be the last glimpse of their homeland that they would ever know, ever see. It's very important to us as the modern day descendants of those Cherokee people to raise awareness of places like this. It's a very emotional and very heart-wrenching subject for us to talk about, yet we realize the importance of coming back to places like this and spreading the awareness and the education, as I keep saying, to the non-native community about how significant places like this are. This old roadbed, approaching 175 years old, perhaps much older than that actually. That's just when the Cherokee came through. 174 years ago, actually, this next week. And I'm very honored, very humbled to be standing here talking to you today at this very sacred of places to us. This is the trail where they cried, the trail of tears. Thank you for the opportunity to share just what little I have with you today, and thank you very much for listening.
I'm Toy Heap. I'm Vice President of the Native History Association. What I'd like to talk about a little bit is Davy Crockett and his connection to the Trail of Tears. We're standing in Davy Crockett State Park, and Davy Crockett was a state congressional representative at the time that the Indian Removal Act was before Congress. The Indian Removal Act was very controversial. It passed the Senate and the House by a very low margin, 5 votes in the House, I believe, and maybe 7 or 8 in the Senate. And there was 4 months of debate on it, fierce debate. Davy Crockett opposed it in the House with many other representatives. Daniel Webster in the Senate, I believe Henry Clay. Davy Crockett gave impassioned speech against the Indian Removal Act. The Indian Removal Act was introduced or proposed by Andrew Jackson as a way of trading land out west with the Indian tribes in the southeast to get the Indians to trade away their land here for the land in the west. And like I say, Davy Crockett was one of the main leaders of the opposition, and the fact that the trail comes through this park that was named after Davy Crockett is very significant, and I think that it's important for us to remember that history that went along with that, that it wasn't a unanimous decision to send the Cherokees out west. A lot of non-Indian people supported the Cherokee, but the majority has it, so they passed the Indian Removal Act that eventually led to Cherokee being removed in 1838. So that's one of the things that was most significant to me about this particular segment of the trail.
Mm-hmm.